it is really interesting that for many of the more purist defenders of payment for ecosystem services, they insist that the social agenda has to remain on the side, that if this is an environmental program, then we need to focus on environmental issues and environmental outcomes. However, we know that a very large proportion of people live still in rural areas, and a massive proportion of these people are very poor and vulnerable. So if we're going to be asking them to be the suppliers of the ecosystem services that feed our cities and that feed our industry, we cannot put on them the burden of actually implementing these environmental improvements and assume that just because they live in a greener place, they're going to be necessarily happier. Profit and livelihoods are equally important in rural areas than in the middle of a city. So we need to really look into the poverty component of any environmental instrument, and payment for ecosystem services being one of them. We really need to understand that the concept of the poor is a very heterogeneous concept. There's many different types of poor people. It would vary from region to region, even within a region. And even within the issue of talking about poverty, we have all of these issues of multi-dimensions of poverty. We have short-term poverty. We have long-term poverty. So we really need to be addressing these issues as well when we talk about environmental instruments, if we want to have a change in behavior, and we want to have a change in behavior that will stay now and in the future. We also think that the programs that have managed to integrate both objectives, actively integrate them, not just as a tick box exercise. When you integrate them actively, you get a much higher chance of having a political impact. You get that political teeth to actually engage people, move beyond the environmental bubble, and really look at beyond the grass and the tree and look into the people who are actually managing and affecting these ecosystems and being affected by them.